thing is this, and I want to ask you one question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you speak on the age gap thing, right? Um, do you, in your personal opinion, think a 54-year-old should be interested in a 19-year-old?
In my personal opinion, I'm gonna be like, if I can't have a drink with you, if we don't have things that we can communicate on
Mm-hmm.
other than a physical thing, I can't be bothered. Okay, but it don't sound like he was asking her to book readings. It was a physical thing.
Right.
Okay, he wasn't looking to talk. He wasn't looking to have, this long, deep conversation, hold hands, and collect seashells down the beach. He wanted a certain thing. Let's
Right.
be honest, the older you get when it comes to a lot of people, they may or may not be willing to do those things without certain types of emotional strings attached.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because people going to be like, if I'm doing this for you, then you going to have to be the one. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll do this for my husband. I'll do this for my, my long term person. But I'm not just going to do this because this, that, or the third. Where young people nowadays, they are for the experiment.
Mm.
I can do this and go ahead about my business, and she can go ahead about her, have her little friends or whatever, and I can keep it moving. Am I justifying it? Kinda, because of the fact that, like I said, we have to stop moving the goalposts around on different things when it fits your purpose. Because we have said in the United States, whether it's right or wrong, we have said that 18 is an adult.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gotta like it. It don't mean we gotta do it. It don't mean we should start doing it too, but we gotta stop acting like it was wrong to do so.
Now, let me interject here respectfully. So, we as a society, we evolve and we understand certain things that we did back in the day just didn't didn't look right, right? As far as today is concerned. Let's take it to slavery, owning human beings, right? In that day and time, it was normal. Like this was just a normal thing. And I do accept that. I understand that certain white people were probably not innately just racist, but hey man, I grew up in a house or a plantation where my father told me this grown ass man or woman needs to listen to me. And I went about life like that. That is just normality, right? Now, over time, we learned that that just shouldn't happen. A human being should not own a human being, period, right? Now we look at that as taboo, like, whoa, in the 18, 17, 1600s, it was not taboo. It was normal for you to be a 40-year-old man and have a 15-year-old wife that already had two babies. And by the time she's 25, she probably have 16 babies. Now, over time, we started to look at this like, maybe we should just up the age a little bit to where you can have sex with this woman, or this woman can, or girl can have sex with you, so forth and so on. Now, we get into something that me and you talk about a lot. We talk about porn, right? We talk about porn and this and that and OnlyFans and hoes and remember we did that video on if we did a purge. Oh my
Yeah,
God, we gotta recreate that and put that
yeah,
shit out there. And that's gonna be like when I start my Patreon. I just can't put that on YouTube.
yeah.
We ain't gonna be able to put that on YouTube,
They
baby.
gonna be like, what did he say?
Whoa, man, y'all got to pay for that shit. And if you pay for it and you're offended, you knew what you
You on
was.
your own.
But the thing is, bruh, what do we know about the porn industry what we know is the barely legal porn is the most lucrative genre of porn. And it is because, let's just keep it real, a lot of men out here don't want to um, go that route of actually doing it. So they want the fantasy and they look at these girls who are 19, 20, 21 years old, but they look 12. You see? They look prepubescent. You know what I mean? And that's why we're in that stage of barely legal porn. I'm talking about that is the highest grossing genre of the porn industry. I mean, you can put anything up against it. And right now, majority of men in this world or this country, they look at it like, oh, I can't do it in my personal life, where 50% of them probably already do it. But the other 50% are looking at it like, hey, this is what I like. Um, and I can't get in trouble for it. So that leads me into my premise of why would, look, young, at the end of the day, a 17-year-old is not that much different from a 19-year-old. The average 17-year-old girl is not that much different from a 19-year-old girl. And me being 24, that's cool. Me being 30, that's probably cool. 35, pushing it. 40, I'm 41. I don't think after my divorce, I said, I don't think I want to do it. And on top of that, a lot of us have girls. I have all girls, bruh. And what I've came to realize, because I was in a 17-year situation, 13 years married of that, and I had a stepdaughter, which I call my daughter. She's 20, about to be 22 this year. And I had this feeling of, I don't think I could fuck with a 20, 19, 22, 20, because I'm literally thinking of my daughter's generation in that. And the thought that comes to me is my daughter. So that's the catalyst to, if I'm 52 and my daughter is 22, I cannot possibly fuck with a 19-year-old. Now,
I understand
now, now,
all what you're
now,
saying.
listen. Now, with that notion, right? With that notion, I, I don't see myself doing it. I can I can not understand the 54-year-old who has a 23-year-old daughter. He cannot possibly not think of his daughter. And I don't want to think of my daughter when I'm in a romantic relationship. I just don't want to. I don't want to think of my daughter when I'm fucking. I don't. And the thought, just the thought of my daughter in that age range will have me like, nah, I can't do it. So me thinking of a 54-year-old man fucking with a 19-year-old and his daughter is 23, it's hard for me to believe that he is not thinking of his daughter.
It's not that hard to believe because I'm gonna explain to you why. Look at how, at least here in America, look at how things used to be. Look at how we used to have pictures on in the mechanic shops of females on the wall for the Canada. Why do you think strip clubs are still so successful? Okay, we separate the physical act of sex from all of what you're talking about. It's a whole separate thing. If we didn't, you wouldn't have prostitution, you wouldn't have strip clubs, you wouldn't have OnlyFans. You wouldn't have any of that because we can categorize that person is not my significant other or someone I care about. That person is hot and they're doing whatever it is doing. I'm not justifying me either. I can't. Okay. My wife is 5 years younger than me. I find it real hard if something was to happen between me and her that I would go younger than than that. But
Hmm.
that's a personal choice
Right.
made from my experiences, my raising, my upbringing, my I've also never had $40 million or millions of dollars either. Okay. It's
Yeah.
easy to sit back and
Yeah.
say I couldn't do so and so or whatever. If somebody dropped $100 million in your lap and now you have the ability to do whatever the hell you want, you might be making some different choices. Let's be real.
That's true. That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
I hate to say it, but it's easy for poor and working class and middle class folks to talk about things that's above their fucking pay grade.
I like that. I like it. I still have my same thoughts, but
Okay, you
I
know,
this is why I brought Nomadic on here. If you're out in here, man, you've been in here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. My man just broke down some shit. And he is absolutely right. A lot of people always say what they would do if they hit the lottery, right? You don't know what the fuck you'll do. You don't. You can have an idea of what you want, but when that 14 million hits your bank account, mm, financial freedom is a hell of a drug, bro.
I would like to think that I would still be the same person that I am right now. I would really like to think that I would. But if you gave me $98 million, there's a really good chance you're gonna see me on TV doing some outlandish shit. I'm be real. What kind of outlandish shit? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. The possibility that I might have stolen a rocket or some crazy shit is definitely in the cards. I'll be real. I got $98 million.
That's true.
You get sexier every 100,000. I got 98 million. Nigga, I'm gorgeous.